What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So light definitely makes a difference. Whether you are looking for safety, security, or positive target identification, you need to have a good quality light that you can trust and you know is going to work when you go to hit that button. Now we're going to talk about the new Streamlight TLR1-HL. Now the TLR1-HL has been out for some time, but this version of it is now 1000 lumen and 20,000 candela. That is pretty bright, but when we're talking about a pistol mounted light, we need to be thinking about a couple of different things. We may need that really bright hot spot in the center, punch out. Maybe we're in a field, you're in a warehouse, a bigger environment, but you also need a really good amount of spill because this is going to be something that's going to be used a little bit more up close, generally in a room or in a house or an office complex. If you're security or law enforcement, you need to have kind of the best of both worlds for that hot spot throw and that spill so you can just flood an area with light. Streamlight's a brand that I have carried for an extremely long time, specifically here on my rifle. Now this light's been on here for a few years. It's got thousands of rounds through it. It's been bashed into walls. It's been hit into door panels. It's been smacked up against the ground. It's fallen over when it's been left sitting up against something out on the range. So it has proven durable, reliable, but the best thing about Streamlight is you're getting a really good amount of performance for the price point. Now there are other lights out there like this Modlight PLH V2 right here that are like 56,000 candela. But this light, to include a pressure pad and everything else, is going to be in the area of like $350 to $400. When it comes to that pistol light, like I said, you need that best of both worlds. If you don't understand the difference, Lumens is the overall kind of rating of that LED diode, that just gross light output. Now when it comes to the candela, that is the measurement of that hot spot, that nice tight beam that you see on pretty much any light. The higher that number, the further it's going to throw, but the less left, right, up, down spill you are going to have. Well, let's go ahead and talk specs on this bad boy right here. Take a really good up close look at this, and then we're going to do some low light footage here, right here in my house, because that is really the environment that most of us are going to be using something like this in. We'll check out a hallway, we'll check out a room, and then we'll check out a really long distance, 47 feet, and just kind of see how that spills. Now again, this is the 1000 lumen model. There is the 800 lumen model that is still out there as well. This is just that next upgrade. So let's go ahead and get into this thing and check it out. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, turn the bell notification icons on, definitely give the video a like. If you're interested in any of this stuff, I'll leave links down below. And if you want that two-way swag from Shall Not Comply, that link will be down below as well. We're gonna check this thing out right now. All right, let's rock and roll with this Streamlight TLR1-HL that I've got set up in my SIG 320 RXP X full size. Loving this thing. Got that new Apex flat face in there. Solid setup. Let's go ahead and take a good look at this all the way around. It's going to be pretty much everything that the original TLR1 and TLR1-HL is. Slight size difference from the original TLR1. This body is a little bit bigger, but same size as the previous TLR1-HLs. So you've got that standard look, flat bottom, rounded on the sides. Your activation switches here on the side. You can press down for momentary or up on the right-hand side for momentary. And then obviously if you do the opposite, that is going to be your constant on and it will lock in place as such. You do have 10 tap mode on this bad boy, which means you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th, and you hold it down. That will go between strobe mode and non-strobe mode. If you're into the strobe mode thing, go ahead and use it. I am not a strobe person. I don't use that. I've got my Flat Dark Earth TLR1-HL. This is the 800 lumen model. So you guys can see the difference in the grommets here. You will get a different pack of the actual inserts for the rails. You can see this one is a little bit far away from the trigger guard on the SIG. You can see right there. There is a specific SIG one in some of the older kits, and then you have multiple different 1913, which is the pick rail ones that you can set up in there to bring that light a little bit closer to the trigger guard. You can kind of fine tune that. I leave the 1913 one in there because this light goes back and forth between SIGs and H&Ks and FNs and Glocks and pretty much everything else out there. Let's go ahead and talk about the the main specs on this thing overall. This is the 1000 lumen model, so 20,000 candela, pretty crazy. 2 batteries in here loaded from the rear in that hatch door right here. This thing's a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes. You got 2 batteries in there, the CR123s. Oop, I always turn it on. And they load in the back like that, right behind the switches. So 1.5 hour runtime on those bad boys. And it's going to give you that 1000 lumens the entire time on it. As far as the activation goes, like I said, it's on there, slightly rubberized back portion on the activation switches itself right there. You do have an IPX7 waterproof rating, 1 meter, 30 minutes. This thing is going to live underwater a lot longer than you are. Probably not something most of us have to worry about at this point. As far as everything else, fits all your standard pick rails, comes with all the different rail inserts on there. There is a different version of this where you can get the rear cap on there and plug it in and use it on a rifle if you wish. Comes in 3 different colors. You can see I've got my flat dark earth one here, the black one here, and then there's a flat dark earth brown, which is a little bit darker than this one right here. We're looking at 3.39 inches, I believe it is. Total overall length, and then 4.32 ounces. And then the total beam distance of it when it's actually on and activated, they say it's 283 meters. That's going to be the absolute longest distance that you can actually visibly see the light from. Not that you're going to be able to probably positively use it for. This is definitely more of an up close and personal setup than something that's got that higher candela rating like a rifle rig. Let's go ahead and check out that low light footage, kind of see what this does in a house, spill, all that good stuff now that you know the specs. And then we'll talk about the price point and the overall durability and quality of these Streamlights. Now you had a good opportunity to check this thing out up close and get a really good look at it on this full-size SIG RXP X full size, longest names ever when it comes to the SIG stuff. Let's go ahead and roll into some of that low light footage. What we're going to do here first is check out a kind of like a normal hallway in like a home where it's like an L hallway. Just kind of check out how that light spills, how it goes into the room, how it kind of bounces off those white doors, and you get a really good idea of how this is going to illuminate all around and how punishing that hot spot can be. Now we'll go ahead and we'll roll into a normal sized bedroom and just really take a good look about how this illuminates into a, like a normal, I think this is like 14 by 15 room or something like that, with kind of a hard corner right as you enter. Pretty good lighting in there. Now we'll go ahead and we'll roll into me standing in that hallway looking all the way through my kitchen. That wall on the back end is going to be 47 feet away. You're going to get a really good idea of how this light is going to spill, how it's going to throw, and that's a pretty good distance. And as you can tell, it's going to give you a really, really nice hot spot that spreads quite well to do a really solid positive target identification, whether you're on the range or you're out there working in real life. Well, as you guys can see by that footage, the new TLR1-HL 1000 lumen, that 20,000 candela, is a really good mix between giving you some spill, very nice hot spot, pretty good distance on it. I mean, think about using this in a good sized warehouse or garage and how much overall light you're going to get, but still have enough to punch out at a good distance and really ID something you're looking at out there. Now, when it comes to the price point, this version right now, I've seen it on like Amazon all over, for right at that $130 price point. Now, that is not bad considering that the next level of light up, in my opinion, is Surefire. You get the X300 or something, you're going to be in that 240 to 250 and maybe a little bit more. Sometimes you can find them on sale, but that's $100 more than this one. And Streamlight has always been an extremely durable light for me. Now, someone inevitably always brings up how much is too much, how bright is too bright. Well, that really depends on what you are doing. If you need that thing on a rifle and you need to punch out quite a distance, something like that 56 candela flamethrower from Mod Light might be your ticket. Something in that 1000 lumen rating, or even maybe a little bit more, inside a normal house, a normal warehouse, even a field out there, is going to be a really good mix. One of the things you need to understand is if you're going from a dark room where you're using this light and then going to like a dim hallway and then back into a dark room, you are going to have some diminishment of your natural night vision. And an example of that is just go into a room with one eye closed with the light on and just kind of sit in that room until your eye acclimates to it. Then turn the light off, see how dark it is, and then close this eye and open the one that was closed and the light was on. you will instantaneously see the difference in your night vision capability just naturally to your eye, because there's a really good amount of light, dim light adjustment in your eye. Now, when you start punching out with a light like this, especially in a room that's wide, you get some glare back, you're gonna diminish your natural night vision capability slightly, but not to the point where you still can't get everything done that you need to get done. I hope you guys liked learning about the new TLR1-HL from Streamlight. It was really nice of them to send this out to the channel. Wanted to get that one tested out. They were cool enough to give me one here for the channel. Solid brand, definitely something to look into if you're looking to save a little bit over something like a Surefire. If you're interested in this or anything else you see here, like that two-way swag from Shall Not Comply, I will leave those links down below for you guys to check out. You can always go to tacticalconsiderations.com to check out everything I've ever done, or all the links for all the stuff I've made videos on. You guys get out there, enjoy some range time, dry fire if the ammo is still in short supply for you. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready, and I will see you guys on the next one.